So, how was PAX? Your first PAX ever?
It was pretty cool. I wish I had gone for the full multi-day tickets. I had work and stuff, but I think next year I'm going to get the 4-day tickets because there's so much stuff going on, and I didn't really get to go to any of the like panels or talks that they were doing, and some of them looked really cool.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really fucking neato. Got to play some fun stuff. Got to watch other people play some really cool stuff. They also have, because I really like that it's tabletop games too.
Yeah,
so
it's Penny Arcade.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of shit going on with tabletop games and like D&D materials and tools that you can use for D&D, which is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
I bought a game that I'm excited to bring over to you guys because when they started telling me about it and I looked through the sleeve, they had like a book sleeve of the cards that are in the game. I was like, oh, Gamage is going to love this.
We already have so many games, though.
Well, I'm keeping it for myself. I'm just excited to play it with you guys.
No, I'm just saying that, like we have so many card games and board games that we already don't play. That I should.
Well, we should play more games when I come over, because I love board games and card games.
The next Jackbox pack that's coming out has like adult themed ones that I want to do.
Ooh, that's exciting too. I feel like that's sort of counts as a board game card game because it's not like it's just facilitating.
Yeah, it's like it's a party game. It's the root of it.
Yes, exactly.
Party
games. I fucking love Jackbox. It's so damn entertaining.
I have been a fan of You Don't Know Jack for fucking decades, and like it's crazy how big it was when I was a kid, and then it kind of just went away for a long time, and then it just came back as like this big, like, we have all these other games now too, look at this.
They're like, huzzah, we have evolved.
But they still occasionally have You Don't Know Jack in their games, which I'm fine with, because that's
it's the tried and
those
true.
Are my roots.
Yeah,
those are my streets. That's where I came from.
Those are my streets.
Did we have any other preamble?
Dude, I thought I did. I wrote a bunch of stuff down on my walk. They might have just been advice questions, though.
Why did you write things on your walk?
Well, because I thought about them while I was on a walk.
Oh, like the physical walk. I thought you meant like the cooking dish walk.
Well, I also carve things into my walk, too. It doesn't non-stick as well as it used to, but
dry erase is nightmare on it.
I mean, it's functional. If I need to reference my recipe, it's just written right there, so it's pretty
mumbling. You're mumbling.
Oh my god. Okay,
you're mumbling now.
I write recipes on my walk. Maybe I'm trying no, I know. Maybe the zone for me is like 3 inches from my fucking face instead of 6.
But like I still heard you clear, but like I heard like just the mannerisms, like the tone go to where I familiarize it with you mumbling. So I'm like
the fading. Yeah, no, call me out on it.
Do some theater warm up chant things.
A theater warm up chant? A shanty?
A chant.
Chant. I heard shant.
That's because I said shant.
What would a theater chant be? Like a theater shanty?
I don't remember them at all. They're dumb. It's like vocal exercises, but together. Something, a thing particularly hard to say, but harder still to do. Something, drums and dragons.
Sally sells seashells down by the seashore.
Well, anyway, welcome to our podcast.
Welcome to We Have That Podcast at Home. I'm on-brand Rachel.
And I'm on-brand Gamage. And this is our off-brand podcast. It's the only podcast to ride the tiger. You can see his stripes, but you know he's clean.
What the fuck does that mean?
That means that Rachel doesn't listen to Dio, and she's a fucking plebe.
What is Dio?
She doesn't know Holy Diver. Everybody point at your podcast and laugh at it.
Especially if you're driving. If you're driving, point with both hands.
Someone was born in a different era and doesn't listen to obscure music.
Each week we play Russian roulette with our success and spin a wheel to find out the genre of the next week's podcast.
last week we spun a wheel and it hit something. I don't remember what it was, but we decided that we're going to take this opportunity to see other people.
Yeah, we will be podcasting separately now.
Yes.
And also not to you guys. I need a new audience just as much as I need a new Gamage.
And I want you to know that it's not your fault, champ. And we're still going to be around. We're still going to be just the best podcast hosts for you.
I want you to know that he's lying to you and it is your fault and you're the reason that we're getting a divorce. And I want you to carry that with you for the rest of your life.
I just need you to tell the judge that she hits you, okay? Here's $5 and a puppy and a beer.
At least for that one, you don't have to lie.
No, we got wild card, I'm pretty sure. And
I'm pretty sure it was wild card and we're going to give you shitty advice.
No. Okay, this is why we're breaking up. So our advice, we're fucking certified, okay? We have a PhD in advice giving. And you're blessed.
Oh, shit. I forgot you finally got your paper in the mail.
My paper?
Yeah, your paper for your PhD.
I don't know what the fuck? Oh, yes, it is legitimate.
Yes, it came in the mail. It's a very stiff envelope, so it didn't fold.
It's on cardstock.
25 pound.
It's in a glass sleeve. And we're good at advice giving. That our lives are so good that you just want to live it. And we're here to help you with that.
Yes, our lives are so good that we're divorcing so that we can live them as exponentially good as possible, far away from each other, because if they kept being lived near each other, the world would just implode.
Look, on to our first bit of advice. Just break up. It's not working, and you're going to be better off in the long run single.
Yep. Regardless of whether you're happily married or not, just break up. It's not going to work out. You might get old. Yeah. She might die. Just break up now.
I don't care if you're 16 years old and live with your grandmother. You go and break up with her right now. It's a weird relationship. You shouldn't be in it in the first place.
Look, that dog you just adopted, break up. They need a better human. You need a better dog.
Look in the mirror. Break up with that too. Fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah. Dissociate from yourself.
Who even needs a reflection? Dracula didn't need a reflection, and he did great.
He did fantastic.
Anyway, so let's fucking dole out some advice that we're really good at giving.
We're so good at giving advice. Just hold on, listener. Really mentally prepare yourself, because you know when you you listen to an inspiring song or really good book and it makes you want to change everything about your life because it was just so goddamn inspiring? That's what's about to happen to you right now.
But then you finish the song and or book, and then
you forget
7 o'clock and you have to make dinner and you're like, ugh, and you just get Taco Bell instead, and then realize that you are incapable of making these changes in your life. That's okay too.
But the thing is,
break up with those changes.
Yeah, there you go. Break up with those changes. You don't need those changes anymore. Break up with them. They're not serving you. Taco Bell is serving you.
All right, I'm breaking up with this topic. On to our first one. I'm going to go with dog's cancer needs advice.
I like the titles for advice.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, I read this.
Like, okay, you didn't want to give any other details in the straight out of the get-go?
Yeah, there's context, but like the title itself implies that the cancer of the dog is in need of advice, and we're here to advise the cancer. Break up with the dog. Get out of it.
Yes, exactly. The dog needs to break up with his cancer, and the cancer needs to break up with his dog.
Is the horse dead yet? Okay. My dog.
No, I think we need to keep beating it. I'm pretty sure there's a necromancer trying to resurrect it.
My dog, who is only 2 years old, was diagnosed with lymphoma back in May. God, this is sad. I shouldn't be fucking snickering through this.
Yeah, this was a harsh start. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, I'm real serving up some harsh browns today.
That was rough. I'm gonna break up with that joke.
Oh, that's a classic. Fuck off.
I've never heard another human being in my life say harsh browns.
It's
What?
like, get it? Because
That
it's like
sounds
hash
like-
browns. The hash browns is the potato food.
No, I
and
understood what
harsh
you were
is close
saying,
to it.
but I want you to know it also sounds like you took a really rough shit in the bathroom after eating some harsh browns.
I once heard someone say harsh browns, and I fucking laughed for like a week.
Are you serious?
Yes, I laughed nonstop for a week. That's all I did, Rachel. I laughed and I laughed. Yeah, I had a dentist appointment that week. It was a very fucking problematic week for me.
Kimmich, speaking of laughing, I'd like to propose to you a business idea that I came up with the other
broke
day.
up. We just broke up. You can't propose
I wanna bring
already so soon.
I'm having regrets, and I'd like to bring us back together. And this is my proposal to you.
Okay.
I would like to start a bar that is.
Here we go. Here we fucking go.
It's themed around Pitbull, the musician, not the dog. And every month is a different.
Already fucking treading some harsh like weather here.
Theme of Pitbull. So like, you know, like his song Timber with Kesha, that's like 1 month. And then you move on to a different month. And then every server that works there, like all the employees have to dress up like that theme of Pitbull and wear bald caps. And it's also an ice bar. And Pitbull.
It's also on a cruise. Fuck it.
No, it's not on a cruise. Pitbull gets ordained to be a priest. And he comes in and he blesses the ice. So
we're getting Pitbull.
It's Pitbull's ice bar featuring holy ice.
So it's not our bar. It's Pitbull's bar. You just want this.
No, we own it. And Pitbull just supports us.
And Pitbull's just like, okay, cool. And he doesn't want to sue us at all?
No, because every month we pay him money to then advertise. You know how you can get like celebrity videos requested? I think he would support Pitbull's ice bar featuring holy ice. I don't think he would be against that.
Holy ice. Fact checker has the right idea. It's a bar featuring Pitbull.
No, it is Pitbull's ice bar featuring Pitbull's holy ice. And then 1 month we roll out that Ice Cube is joining.
Yeah, I know. Whoosh,
and then he blesses Ice Cube. Wait, what?
Pitbull's whole thing is that he's always a feature. Like DJ
I see
Khaled.
what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's a bar featuring Pitbull.
Okay, well, a bar featuring Pitbull, featuring Pitbull's holy ice, featuring Ice Cube blessed by Pitbull, Pitbull's holy ice cube.
This is fun. This is a nice like word Jenga we've created. Anyway,
that's my trademark.
Dog cancer. I was just thanks fact checker. She just said dog cancer.
Let's get back to. I think I just gave that dog cancer retroactively with this idea.
Here we go. Somber.
Okay, I'm depressed.
The doctor
Let's go.
told us that because he is a pit mix that cancer is more common.
Oh my god, he's Pitbull.
Is it? What are the fucking odds?
Oh, it's cancerous Pitbull featuring Pitbull.
We have to get through
Pitbull's
3 sentences of this, Rachel. Help me help you.
Okay, I'm crying. I'm serious.
I mean, we're both crying, but probably for the wrong reasons.
Pitbull's dog has cancer. Continue.
They also told us that because he is so young, there is a better remission rate. My parents decided to try chemo with him, which is $500 a week from May to July.
Holy shit.
I mean, yeah.
That's a lot of $500 a week.
Around July 20th, the vet told us he was successful in remission. Okay, cool.
Sick.
Not even a month later, his cancer came back. Well, then it doesn't
Get a
seem
better
like a success.
vet. He lied.
The vet is telling us this new treatment is going to cost $1,000 each time he goes, and we cannot afford that, even with 3 jobs. Sounds like the vet's fucking you, man.
Yeah, this vet sounds like he's swindling you, because this is going to be like you pay $1,000 for the next installment of my dog not having cancer, and the next time around it's going to be $1,500 to fix your dog's cancer.
I'm just really torn on what to do. My parents want to try this new treatment, but my view is that if the first round of chemo only lasted less than a month, I'm not sure this new treatment will last any longer. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and I love our dog, Beamer, to death, but I don't want to prolong his suffering. You gotta put the dog down.
Hold on. There's steps before this.
Yeah, you're right. I jumped the gun, but I do believe in putting the animal out of its misery.
Yeah, before you get there, though, there's like a couple boxes to tick. Like, number one,
A second opinion for
yeah,
sure.
get a second opinion from a different vet. Number two, call Pitbull because he can fund your dog's Pitbull cancer
I don't
remission
think
treatment. He might. You never know if you don't ask.
that's a
What if he does?
fair point, I suppose.
Maybe he's weirdly charitable about pit bulls with cancer because he doesn't want to see himself die.
I mean, our vet is great because our vet is a cat owner as well, and he like says like, if I think you should, then I will tell you. But if I think that they're doing fine, then they're doing fine. And we were able to get, God, several more years out of our latest cat from that.
Yeah, and she was a baller that lived a fabulous fucking life.
Oh yeah, she was an angry Victorian lady.
Yes, she was. That's a fantastic
Like a
way.
strawberry candy.
Yeah, I feel like get a second opinion because I don't know. I mean, you were pretty not detailed with the first one, but like, oh, chemo costs $500 a week, which I don't know if that's accurate, but that sounds fucking absurd.
I mean, it kind of does, but also medical shit in America sucks, and for animals, it's even worse. So
yeah,
maybe that's true. I could see it happening. I'm not that surprised.
I could see it happening too, but
I'm
it now being
astounded and floored,
$1,000 with not, maybe you just didn't include the explanation of why or what the treatment is.
That shit is sketchy, though.
Yeah, it just kind of seems like you're being swindled, and maybe have you ever run into a vet that's not empathetic at all? Because sometimes they exist. It's not super often, but sometimes you run into people that just like, they really could give less of a fuck. So go find somebody that, because your vet is also cool and like does shit to help you guys out. Yeah. And I have vets that do that too, where it's like, they're not charging me freaking an arm and a leg for every hair they touch on my dog's body. They'll sit there and be like, hey, you should go to this other thing and grab, her medication off of this website or something because it's significantly cheaper.
Yeah, we had one in the area that was so bad he got shut down multiple times. I worked on his computer once, and he's not a smart person.
That always is so bonkers to me. That was kind of the cool part about... He killed one of Brittany's dogs. It what?
Yeah, man.
That was a plot twist I was not expecting to come through.
It was a fetish thing. Like he strangled it in the bathtub until the light went out of his eyes for an erection.
Did he bill you for that?
You best believe it.
Was it $1,000 a week from May to July?
Yes, he did it for several weeks. He kept bringing the dog back like Flatliners style.
Jesus.
No, fact checker's feeding me this information. I have no information, and I'm probably not going to go into it, but he frequently said how much being a vet was his second choice. He wanted to do some art shit. Then do that. Pursue your first shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Look. It's okay to chase your dreams. It's okay to settle, but if settling involves life and death in any shape, don't do that.
Yeah, like don't become a doctor and you wanted to be an artist, so now you're going to be a shitty doctor. That makes you a fucking asshole. You can have like a job that you don't fucking hate that you go to day to day, and then you can do art at home. You're still now an artist. Go do the thing.
Yeah, your fallback should never be something that involves life and death. Like, if you tried to be a painter and it failed, you probably shouldn't get into the military, Adolf. Anyway, but I originally, though, I do stand by the statement of, like, it's your responsibility as the pet owner to, try everything as possible, but to ultimately be there and make that hard choice.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is I think step one is second opinion from a different vet, or at least a vet that discusses things more with you and can give you that guidance, because it shouldn't just be like an internal conversation. If your vet is not talking to you about the longevity or possibility of your dog and being like, this is totally worth doing, that you have a shitty vet. They should kind of be part of that decision. Like, you don't go up to Nana on fucking life support and go, we're going to pull the plug today, when the doctor's over there going, well, hold on, she's fine. We put her in. No. We put her in the coma. Stop touching the wall plug. That's not how this works.
You don't understand. Grandma fucking sucks. She needs to go.
We're pulling it now.
All right, let's move on to some more advice that we're really good at giving.
Yes. Did my boyfriend recommend a guy to purchase a sex slave?
Did my boyfriend recommend a guy to be
A
a
guy
sex slave?
purchase a sex slave. Did her boyfriend recommend that another guy purchases a sex slave?
Oh shit, like an actual trafficked. I thought this was like a fun, like kinky Craigslist bullshit thing. This is weird and not cool.
Weird, not cool, and confusing.
Give me some context.
I'm 19, and the guy I'm with is 21. I think we get along for the most part. That's already a red flag. But he's weird around his male friends. Recently, I found his phone after he was desperately trying to hide his interactions with them from me. He was suggesting one of his older friends, I think he's like 27, see a prostitute. That's not a sex slave. Apparently, this guy can't get dates, and he asked, how do I know she won't be trafficked? Okay, here we go. Boyfriend said, yeah, she most likely will be trafficked, but that's not your problem if she is. What?
I mean, dude, it's not okay to say. This took a turn and then another turn, but it was a U-turn back to where we were.
Yes, I was like, oh, we're in the clear. No, we are not. No, run away. Run away.
Look, you know what we're going to say. You know what our primary advice is for everything. First off, break up. You don't need this in your life. You're 19. You have so much time to go.
Yeah, you've got a lot of life to live. Live it not anywhere near this fucking horrid excuse for a human being. Run the other fucking way.
For sure.
Jesus Christ.
This one is... This feels like no stupid question, but here we are. Is drinking unattractive to men? Well, is it?
Gamage, I guess you have to answer that.
Oh yeah, because it's a person. I'm a man, and it's icy. I'm stupid. I thought it was like, is it unattractive for men to drink? Okay, I don't think so at all. The fact checker says, like alcohol or just water. Look, drinking.
I hate watching a bitch drink water.
Here she goes again. What are you, a fucking plant? Get off your high horse, Josie. So
you gonna go stand in the sun next, you freak?
You photosynthesis bitch. So drinking in itself is fine. Drink your mimosas. I'll fucking down them half with you.
Just
drinking's
half,
fine.
though.
Drinking's fun. Getting drunk is fun. Going a little overboard, cool. If there's clearly an issue of overabundance and reliance, then yes. But if it's just like if you're casually throwing them back, that's fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's a line with every fucking human being where if you are frequently belligerently drunk or just generally belligerently drunk, I would say, I think if it like happens once in a blue moon, no one should give you like a hard fucking time, but it's not necessarily the sexiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
If you're doing it all the time, that's no bueno. For so many reasons.
Oh yeah, there's context here. I should have read that.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
My friend has been on some dates with a guy. She gets all anxious over everything. She told him that she went out the night before and had to go to work the next morning, so was very much regretting her decisions from the night before. Anyway, she rang me saying, "Do men not like women who drink?" I did say it's a bit dramatic to assume women don't have fun. I also told her a man can't appreciate her for how she is, then well, he's for the bin anyway. Thoughts? Break up. That's easy. Done.
Yeah, problem solved.
Damn, we're so fucking good at this.
Yeah, we're fucking batting 1,000 right now.
Break up with your vet. Break up with your toxic boyfriend. Break up with your other toxic boyfriend.
Break up with your cancer.
Try to break up with your cancer.
Do your best to break up with your cancer.
Do your best to break up with cancer.
Yeah, no, that just... I don't think you going out for an evening warrants somebody being judgmental, and if it does, they're fucking dumb.
Like, let's say you get past this, then that's just one bit of control that this person's going to have. And a lot of the worst toxic relationships starts out with, how can I get a little bit of control? And then it just goes a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And now all of a sudden you don't have friends anymore because that's just the kind of person they are.
My sister's diet is ruining our plumbing. What to say to her? Kind of gross.
What you gotta say is you gotta pinch the loaf sooner, babe.
Even if it's just farting, courtesy flush.
Yeah.
Courtesy flush will change your life.
You gotta microdose your toilet.
Have you introduced her to poopery? Microdose your toilet. I don't know why that just hit me. I'm picturing like you go in, just poop a little, go about your day really fucking uncomfortable, go back, poop a little, go about your day really fucking uncomfortable. But I'm like, I don't know why in my head it's only diarrhea. Like, it's not like you're like pinching off a log.
No, if I'm guessing, like, from just context, if it's a diet change and it's ruining the plumbing, I don't think it's diarrhea at all. I think it's like...
Oh, you're thinking there's fiber involved?
I'm thinking there's a lot of something that just makes it big and clunky and just plugs up that plumbing.
My dog recently ate carpet, and that made her poops big, clunky, and seem like they would plug up the plumbing. Is it possible your sister started eating the carpet?
Dog ate carpet.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck she did that. She hasn't eaten weird shit since she was a puppy. She used to eat the wallpaper off the walls like a psychopath. And then the other day I came home and she ate carpet.
But shitting the floor?
Who knew? She just wanted us to have new carpet. She was like, I can fertilize us a new carpet plant.
Lesbian-owned dog. Thank you, fact checker, for that. That's fun.
She's a carpet muncher. It's also funny because the only dog my dog has ever humped is a big curvy lady golden retriever.
Oh, don't say curvy when referring to a fucking dog. What is wrong with you?
She chonk. She thick.
BBW. Fuck off, fact checker. You guys are gonna get put on a list.
All right, details. First off, she already messed with our plumbing by flushing lots of wet wipes instead of putting them in the trash. It doesn't help
you need
that
to break up with her.
Yeah, immediately. It doesn't help that our house was made in the 60s and is older. She eats a lot of food at once, 6 foot and 350 pounds, and it's affecting not just her, but all of us. The way this person writes sentences is kind of wild. For probably a year or two, she's clogged the toilet every day.
Dude.
When the toilet is empty, clean, and she hasn't used it yet, it flushes fine. Every time I go,
that's possible.
After she's used it, the toilet water is completely brown, and you can see huge poop and wads of toilet paper floating because it won't flush. I'm pretty sure only diarrhea could make the water that brown, and it's fucking disgusting. It's gotta have substance if it's clogging the toilet, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
My little brother refuses to use the bathroom until somebody plunges it because he also finds it disgusting. My mom tried to be polite about it, but my sister hasn't gotten the hint or doesn't care. I'm tired of my mom and I plunging the toilet every day. It's sick. Smells so bad. But she just goes through a frozen bag of fries or chicken or pasta in a couple days, and her diet is fucking all of us over in many ways.
Is that a diet?
No, I think she means diet as in the food that you eat, not diet as in I'm dieting.
Okay, fair.
You would think having diarrhea every damn day would be a wake-up call, but no. Seriously, I'm so sick of it. It's embarrassing having my friends over, and they make jokes about my old house having a broken toilet, and they, quote, can't use it because it's always clogged, end quote. And I'm scared when we eventually get another house that we're still going to have this issue. Mom is scared to hurt her feelings, but I don't want to live like this.
First of all, the clog, more than like 90% probability that it's the wet wipes. And if you just get a bidet, that would stop. I almost guarantee it. Second of all, what you should do, this is a surefire way to get it to work, is you and your family, son's sister, need to poop somewhere else for like a couple weeks. Because now she is literally in her own mess. She's like, oh, it's clogged. I need to unclog it. Oh, it's clogged again. who's doing this? And everybody's like, I've been pooping at the McDonald's down the street for like weeks now.
So
this is you.
You're saying you want her to clog all the toilets in the house and even perhaps all the toilets in like a 3-block radius?
Yeah, fuck it.
Until she has a come to Jesus moment where she has to plunge her own shit.
Look, just like heroin addiction is, you can't always get people to help themselves. They need to figure it out themselves sometimes, man.
I just can't imagine clogging a toilet every day. That's a lot of shit.
Me neither. I've clogged some toilets because I don't have a great diet either, and I don't think I've ever done it multiple days in a row. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like, you have to eat a lot because it takes like 72-ish hours to digest everything. So like, she's got one in the chamber at all times, and that's the craziest part. It's got to be the wet wipes. It's got to be the wet wipes.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think she's like just holding out for like 1 mega poop a day?
Holding
like,
out for a hero.
Yeah, a hero that will plunge her demons.
Get her a poop knife. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, I think that's your solution here is this Christmas, get her not only the blockbuster feature film poop knife, but the knife to go with it. And like maybe a little oven mitt to hold the end of the knife so that she doesn't get poop water on her hands.
I mean, or she could just do it. She's got a bunch of wet wipes anyway, bitch. Fuck off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. She's got plenty of wet wipes to throw down the toilet. Yeah, no, genuinely, if she was flushing wet wipes, the problem is probably actually the plumbing, because maybe she just has oversized poops, but they would flush normally if there wasn't this wet wipe creature living in your plumbing.
It gets like wrapped in like the wads. There's no such thing as a flushable wipe. There's no such thing.
No, it does not exist.
It's not a real thing. Like toilet paper that dissolves in water, that's it.
Dude.
And even that, if you condense it down enough, that'll still create a giant wad.
If you pack it in, it's just like a spit wad.
Yep.
If you pack it in, it's now an
Don't ever
wad.
say pack it in again when referring to a toilet, please.
If you pack it in. One time when I was a kid, my stepdad kept getting mad at me and my sister because our toilet kept clogging. And then, so he looked into our plumbing. There was a fucking tree growing in our toilet.
What?
Yeah. There was like a whole ash tree root just on upped its way in. I don't know how the fuck that works.
One time we had a bad clog that lasted for like several days, and I mean, the whole household was pointing fingers, but eventually we took it apart and looked in, and there was like a deodorant that had just fallen in.
What?
And it was just creating like a stopper.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man.
I love the odd things that happen with toilets that you don't expect. You're like, a lot of shit happens here, and this was not the shit that was on my bingo card for what was happening here.
All right, moving on. I've realized recently I'm a snob and an asshole. How can I change?
Are you asking this question, or are you reading this off the internet?
I knew that joke was coming, and I accepted it. I was prepared for it. No, believe it or not, I used to be a way worse snob and asshole, and it's just kind of something you kind of have to go, oh shit. I'll read this first and then I'll give my thoughts, because I have this tendency. We have this tendency to just like go off the handle on something and then we're reading it and it's like not even.
It's not even related to it in any way, shape, or form.
I got told I was smart a lot as a kid. I thought high school was beneath me, and I would purposely try and read really hard books when I was way too young just so I could feel better than others. I became this way with everything: music, books, movies, TV shows, food, alcohol, coffee. As I get older and matured, I realized I don't like how I feel towards people who don't have the same cultural attitude I do. Sure, I've watched some all-time great movies and some classic novels, and there's definitely massive value in those, but I don't like how if someone tells me their favorite movie is Avatar or their favorite book is ACOTAR, I don't know what that is.
ACOTAR? I don't.
I'm gonna Google
American Cross.
A Court of Thorns and Roses. I have no fucking idea what the fuck that is.
That's the new smut book that everybody's reading that I don't know if it's good or bad, because I've heard mixed reviews, because somebody described it to me as like the new 50 Shades of Grey.
This episode is not about that.
Anyway, continue.
Or they enjoy Folgers coffee, or they like Creed, or I just assume they are idiots.
Well, if they like Folgers, they like incest. So that's already a quick checkbox.
Wild. This has especially hit me in the dating world. I will date a girl and she will tell me, oh, that's one of my favorite movies, or oh, I love the song, and it's some really trashy, badly rated movie or some super garbage music in my opinion, and it turns me off from the girl, which is super sad because what the fuck is wrong with me? I've also surrounded myself with friends who are a bit of culture snobs to a certain degree, so I'm in sort of an echo chamber socially. All my friends are super hipster people, and I don't know, I just feel like, damn, maybe this isn't the best. You're right. You need to break up from those friends.
That's
now,
one of those you
this,
need to look in the mirror and break up with yourself a little bit.
A lot of this explains like my younger self to a T. Is I was very music snobby. I was like, oh, I only like this kind of music. I don't like country. I don't like pop. And it turns out I do. I just wasn't looking in the right place. And it's the alcohol thing's another one too. Where like I would like, oh, I only want scotch. That's all I want to drink. And it's a snobby thing to do. Now you're right in that. You said that there were some classic novels and movies that there's a cultural value in. I agree with you. Like, there's a lot of great knowledge that I'm glad I got from my snobby years, but you gotta warp yourself as a person. First of all, number one, people are allowed to like something. That's number one. Don't gatekeep things. You can like better things that you feel are higher brow, but other people can like things too, and you should just let them have that. It could be for a number of reasons.
And that's the thing. You should never be shitting on somebody's happiness, and if you are, you're a fucking asshole. Because like a friend of mine writes,
which is what's happening here,
like fan fiction stuff all the time, and I'm like, that's not my thing, but I'm glad you dig the shit out of it and have a great time with it.
Yeah. Like, gatekeeping music is a big one. Like, yes, a lot of people do it when they're younger, but there's definitely that interview that I brought up before, Queens of the Stone Age, Josh Homme, who said, like, if you're in your 20s and you're still worrying about genres, then you have a bigger problem that you don't know about.
Yeah.
And that's just that you're limiting yourself. And this is what you're doing. By sticking to just culture, you are limiting yourself. Some of my favorite music now is something that I would have turned my nose against, like, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He sucked.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, you're not really embracing the concept of learning more about the world if you're pigeonholing yourself to these, like, oh, I like these 5 things, and these 5 things are the best things. Okay, cool. Have fun with your 5 things.
I think the best, yeah, I know, right? It's so limiting. I think the best way to, I mean, first of all, you realized it, so you're already on the path to success. What you need to do is just go out there and experience different shit, whether you like it or not. You just got to get out there and do it. Yep. Don't be vocal about it. Just like internalize your anger and take it out somewhere else, but experience things. But the surefire way for me was meeting people who were bigger snobs and bigger assholes that made me go, oh man. Like, I remember it was like $1 pint night at one of our bars, and I ordered like 2 pints with my buddy, and we got them, and then they gave us 2 extras for free, and I was like, fuck yeah. So we like returned to like these friends, who one of them wasn't my friend at all, but we were like, yeah, we got free beer, you want a beer? And he's like, oh, is that the I forget, it was like Miller Lite. It was $1. Like, what the fuck do you want?
It's bordering on free beer.
I forget what it was. It was PBR for the longest time, but then PBR became trendy and more expensive, blah, 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 blah.
Either way, it's cheap as shit light beer.
Yeah, and you know, he's like, oh, is it that stuff? And like, no, not even for $1. I wouldn't even piss on that. And I turned to my other friend and I'm like, dude, is that what I sound like? Because that sucked.
Yeah.
And also, like, he was laughing, and he's like, haha, yeah, but like, you know, it like, I was never that bad, but it definitely made me like look in the mirror and go, you could do better. You're missing out on so much. Just do that.
Well, yeah, and you're missing out on fun fucking experiences too, because like, it's essentially a free drink. If you're going out and having fun with your friends, that's the dream, is you just got free drinks. Who gives a shit? It's free. If you're somebody that scoffs at a free thing that somebody gave you, you're a fucking asshole.
Especially like if you're like, I won't drink that nasty stuff. I'm going to sip on my scotch instead. Look, I like scotch. I like hard alcohol, but alcohol inherently tastes awful. It's supposed to. It's poison, and your body recognizes that. You can trick your body, but it's still poison. And if you're like, oh, not that, I want this because it tastes better, but actually not really, then I don't know what to do with you. I'm taking
I don't know
you
where
outside.
to put you.
I'm breaking up with you.
I'm making you break up with this table. We don't need you anymore. We're going to enjoy our dollar pint night. Goodbye.
Hear ye.
Yeah, a really great way to get around developing this problem is tell your kids they're dumb straight out of the gate. Just ruin their self-esteem.
Yeah, I kind of agree because I not that my parents like told me, oh, you're so smart, but like I definitely, because I had a lot of the bad report cards and like he's just not applying himself and like the ADHD corner of like I'm smart but I'm not doing good in school, blue blue blue, and it definitely made me think that I'm better than a lot of other things, but definitely tell your child that he sucks.
Yeah, it's an easy way to avoid this problem later in life.
It could also hella backfire more though. There's got to be a delicate balance, and
yes.
I don't have the experience to tell you what that balance is.
Have you heard of negging, where it's like a compliment, but then you negate?
You talk about negging your fucking kids.
Yes, you gotta toe that line. Be like, your hair looks really nice. Your hair would look really nice today if you weren't so fucking dumb.
Like, oh, I wish I could pull off that size of clothing. It just seems so relaxing and free, you know?
This report would be better if you were a different kid. Oh, yeah, no, I don't know. Just be open to new experiences in life. I feel like that's the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is experience new things.
Yeah. Learning new things all the time.
Learn new stuff, travel, try new food. Try a new thing like once a week if you can.
Incidentally, that also cures racism is traveling and learning about other cultures.
Yeah, it's crazy how expanding and broadening your horizons cures a whole lot of like xenophobia, racism, sexism, because you actually have a palate for what other human beings go through in their day.
That also, I think, is the biggest thing that changed my mindset too, is I heard the quote, everybody knows something that you don't.
Yes.
And it's always going to be like that. You're always going to meet somebody who may seem simple. They know something that you fucking don't.
I think that's a Bill Nye quote that everybody has.
It is too.
It's like something to teach you regardless of who they are, whether they're a friggin' 98-year-old person or a 3-year-old. They know something you don't.
All right, hit me up with some new advice.
Should I quit the blankie?
Fact checker says you brought up that quote before in the podcast.
Yeah, because it's a good ass quote.
But
I'll bring it up again. Have you heard the Bill Nye quote? Yeah. Should I quit the blankie?
Well, statistically, we advise you to break up with the blankie.
Yeah. Based off of past historical
prior experience dictates.
Yes. But let's hear more.
Yeah.
I'm 35. I've had it since I was a small child.
Yes.
I sleep with it at night. My husband is the only one who knows, and he doesn't care. I'm not hurting anyone, but I would be embarrassed if anyone found out. I lived abroad for 3 years and did not have it, so it's not like I can't sleep without it. Should I quit it or keep it for nighttime comfort?
It's fine. It's a fucking blanket. Now is it like a tiny blanket that like you had when you were a baby? Sure, whatever. Who cares? I have blankets that I still have from years ago.
Yeah, I have follow-up questions.
It's a blanket. It's a blanket.
Is this like a baby blanket where it's only like a single square foot of blanket?
I'm guessing
or is it just
not.
a blanket and you like to sleep with your blanket? Because like I like to sleep with my comforter.
I mean, the way she says blankie implies that it's like...
Do you call it your blankie to other people who aren't your husband?
I mean, she doesn't want people to know, so there's that. Now, is it like a square blanket that you just have over your main comforter? Or is it a blanket that you kind of cuddle with and suck on like Linus from Peanuts?
That was my next question. Is like, how stained and fucked up is this blanket? What have you done with this blanket? Like, is there a reasonable doubt that we should be burning this in a fire?
Take a step back and gaze into this relationship you have with this blanket. What exactly is the nature? Are you just sleeping with it? Is that it? Is that the extent of your relationship? That's fine. Anything else? I maybe.
Have you been drooling on it for the past 35 years of your life? How often do you wash it? How frayed are the corners? What other weird shit have you done near, on, or around this blanket?
That reminds me, everybody in their 20s, go wash your pillowcase every week.
Dude, yeah, wash your sheets once a week. I know that sounds like a lot, but here's the thing. Buy 2 sets of sheets. Then you can do that still
Boom.
once a week, but you have clean sheets. So if you don't want to, it's every other week.
In my early 20s, I couldn't afford a second fucking set of sheets. Are you crazy?
Look, find a good deal. Friggin' you can get cheap-ass sheets at TJ Maxx for like $15. But at least get a second pair of pillowcases, or rotate where you put, like, which side of the pillow you use or something. Much better
definitely
for you.
Keep washing your pillowcase because it's good for your skin too. Like if you're getting a lot of acne and you're like, I don't even eat that greasy food, it's probably the pillowcase.
Probably your sheets, dog.
I think we've talked about this before too.
We have, but this is really good advice, so I'm going to bring it up a lot. Wash your goddamn sheets.
We're so good at this.
Well, and most fucking human adults don't know how to don't know that they should be washing their sheets very often. I had a conversation with somebody recently where she said that she only washes her sheets.
Most human adults don't know what a Roth IRA is, so like there's that.
Yes, also that. And Fact Checker would like to include silky pillowcases for curly hair, which is true. Or one of those I don't know what they're called. A bonnet. Yeah. If you have curly hair, get a bonnet. It'll blow your mind. It'll change your life. I met somebody recently that told me they wash their sheets once a month maybe. And I was like, dude, that's a lot of dead skin cells and hair and filth. Even if you shower before bed every day. Jesus.
I mean, I think that if I wasn't married and in an adult relationship with a woman who did laundry, then I feel like I would have done once a month. That's still better than most people, though.
Yeah, but that's still not often enough. Like, every 2 weeks, I think, is fair.
Yes, 2 weeks, I think, is the extent. Honestly, like, now that I'm, like, remembering me in my 20s, like, 2 weeks is where I'm like, all right, it's kind of like, it feels kind of sticky. Not like sticky, but it just feels like, what's the...
It's not ick sticky, it's like sweat.
It's not soft, it's just kind of like...
It's like when, you know when something's kind of muggy?
What's the feeling sensation for muted? Because that's what I'm going for.
Why are you a stereotype? Because you do the laundry and make dinner?
Fact Checker says that she's a stereotype. Yeah, and we weren't even trying to do that. Like, I'm very pro, do whatever you want, girl.
We know that you guys live a 50s lifestyle voluntarily.
We do. We're not trying, though. Like, I feel bad that, like, to the outside gaze, we look fucking stereotypical, but we're not.
He beats me with the Switch. Do you also bring him a martini when he comes home from work?
The Nintendo Switch, to be specific. I put on Smash Bros. And I just destroy her.
Absolutely.
She picks Bowser every time like a fucking noob.
I would like everybody that isn't in our Discord chat to know that when he said... when she said he beats me with a Switch and Gamage started saying the console, not the stick, that is literally what Fact Checker typed out.
Like 10 seconds afterward, I beat
not
her to
even
it.
Not even 10 seconds. It was she sent it as you finished the sentence.
Yes.
She just can't type as fast as you can speak.
Oh, I can type faster than she could speak too. That's the funniest bit. This one's kind of long, but I'm kind of ready for it.
Okay.
I realized I am a creep. I am a 20-year-old male. During college, I met this girl in one of my classes. I thought she was really cool, so I went up to her, introduced myself, and we started talking. She mentioned she had a boyfriend right off the bat, but I figured we could still be friends. Over time, we got to know each other better and hung out more. It was pretty chill at first, and we genuinely enjoyed each other's company. But then, things started to change for me. I began feeling really attached to her. At first, it was just a little crush, but it kept getting stronger. I felt terrible about it because she was taken, and I didn't want to be, quote-unquote, that guy. I tried to keep it platonic and hide my feelings from her as best as I could, but my feelings wouldn't go away. As she got busier with her life and we started seeing each other less and less, I couldn't stop thinking about her. My feelings only got worse after we stopped seeing each other a lot. Thoughts of her took over my mind all the time, whether I was in class, hanging out with my friends, or just trying to relax. It was like I was living in a fog of thoughts about her, and it was hard to enjoy anything else. It was very strange because I never experienced something like this before, and I was shocked at my inability to control my thoughts. I desperately wanted to stop thinking about her, but no matter how hard I tried to control my mind, I couldn't. I was so scared of what she thought of me and desperately wanted her to have a positive impression of me. This fear started to mess with my self-worth. And yeah, I knew how irrational it was. No matter how much I told myself that my feelings didn't make sense, nothing helped. The shame and guilt of not being able to manage my emotions were overwhelming. The fact that it was such a small problem, yet I couldn't fix it, made me feel even worse. I tried deleting social media and other things like that, but none of it worked. Feeling trapped by these emotions, I started texting her more often, driven by this need to connect. Every message I sent made me feel guilty and anxious, but I couldn't stop myself. The cycle of shame and compulsion was exhausting and just made me feel worse about myself. I was embarrassed by how I couldn't control these feelings, which seemed totally opposite of the person I was. Months later, overwhelmed by these unrelenting emotions, I decided to confess everything in a long message. There's your first problem.
I think this is like the third problem. I don't think this is the first problem.
No, I mean, like, he kind of realized things up until this point, and then it was kind of like internal, and this is the part where he went external, and that's the problem. But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes, continue. I want all the facts before I judge.
Let me get a drink of water first, because my mouth's starting to get dry, and I think it's sticky, and there's a lot more words.
Gulp the water so close to the microphone. I could hear it.
It was the loudest I've ever drank.
I work with this 17-year-old kid that just occasionally just like gulps really hard. And every time he does it, I'll look at him, be like, why the fuck do you do that? And he goes, I don't know. I just learned how to do it. Now I do it.
It's just a cartoonish, like, onomatopoeia. You see the
seriously.
words pop up and everything.
Yes. And he'll just do it while eating. And I'm like, that sounds painful. No, it's 100% like the cartooniest,
Gulp.
like, I can't even do it. Like, I'll take a video of him doing it. I'll send it to you.
I used to be able to do it. Let me see if I can still do it.
Like, I can't, like, he does it
you wouldn't
so
be able to hear it. I don't know
loud.
why I'm trying, but like,
It's like he's swallowing the word gulp.
but I used to, like, I'd see Goofy doing it on Disney, and I was like, I could do that, and I think it's just one of the things I lost. Moving on. My intention wasn't to get with her or anything like that. I just hoped that by being honest, I could stop these obsessive thoughts and finally get some peace. When she didn't respond and a follow-up message also went unanswered, I felt even more insecure. I understand that sending these confessions probably put her in an awkward position and an uncomfortable spot. Watching her succeed and thrive professionally only made me feel worse. I felt like the biggest loser on the planet, like I had nothing going for me. I started feeling extremely jealous of her. I couldn't stop comparing her achievements to mine. To cope, I started downplaying her achievements in my head, which I'd never done with anyone else before. I knew it was wrong, but my thoughts were overwhelming me, making me feel even worse than myself. Finally, I did something extremely stupid to get her attention. Basically what happened was that there was a group chat she and a bunch of my other friends were in, and that group chat was dead. Basically decided to text in the group chat out of the blue to try to start a convo with her. That's when I knew my attempts to connect had only made things worse. She promptly unfriended me. I understand how she feels and why she wants to keep her distance from me now. I used to see myself as mentally strong, ordinary person with good morals. Now I feel like socially inept, creepy weirdo. The shame of disturbing her for no reason, coupled with my embarrassing actions, left me questioning how I became this way. I never saw this series of events coming and the fact that this is what I would turn out to be. I have nobody to blame but myself. The only positive thing is that it's a learning experience, and I'll be more mindful of it in the future, but that doesn't shake the embarrassment, shame, and the fact that my self-esteem has pretty much gone down the drain. I don't want to come across like I'm victimizing myself because I understand I reaped what I sow, and this is what I deserve based on the consequences of my actions. I understand I likely made her very uncomfortable, and that's likely why she cut contact. I'm not going to try to reach out anymore. I have learned my lesson. Other than that, can anyone give me some advice on what to do now, how to change and rebuild my confidence, how to deal with the shame and guilt. I sincerely want to change and become a better person. Any sort of advice will be appreciated. You got to break up with her, man.
Okay, operating on the assumption that any interactions you had with her like weren't creepy straight out of the gate and were normal and human. I don't know, man. Like, I think everybody at some point in life doesn't go through this in particular, but goes through some sort of like a thing like this. Moment. Yeah, where you look back at yourself like, and how you interacted with somebody and you're like, ugh, like, geez, okay, that was a little too much or a little too far because you're learning how to people.
Cringe is a sign of like healthy experience.
Yes, exactly. Like, you're meant to cringe at things. You're meant to feel guilty about shit sometimes in life. Like, that's how you learn and grow as a human being. But I think the biggest thing is I think people get really obsessive about interacting with people because you have this like idea of who they are in your head. And usually they're not, like, that doesn't actually add up. And you just get stuck on this idea. And instead of refocusing your life on yourself and your goings on and your things, you continue to feed into this like idea that you have of this human being and what they could be in your life, or some like fantastical future you think you might have with this idyllic version of this person. And I feel like the long and the short of it is, if you want to rectify this type of an issue, you really have to focus on just doing your own thing.
Yes.
And
be single. Single is fine, and it's a learning experience.
It's good for you.
Broaden your horizons to stop being a snob asshole. You're only 20, so you've got a long way to go. You've got so much ahead of you. Just enjoy the little things. You're already aware of the issues, and they will patch themselves up. Being aware is the number one thing.
Seriously.
It's the number one fix.
The really big stepping stone that most people don't have that gets you on the path of actually changing as a human being is being self-aware and having the critical analysis to look at your actions and go, wow, that sucked. And I'm going to cringe at that every time I think about it. But like you said, it's a learning experience. You know to do better next time. And I don't know, go to therapy too. That can help.
A lot of comments say go to therapy, and he even did an update that he's going to therapy.
Yeah, therapy is good for you.
It's also important to know that like what you had here wasn't a friendship, because it might have been a friendship on her end, but on your end, you were definitely seeing her as a potential love interest only.
Yeah.
Because if your friendship was strong enough, you wouldn't have brought this up. But on the other hand of that is you now have closure. This door is locked. This person's out of your life. Mm-hmm. You got to move on.
Yeah. And I think having the self-awareness when you get into any kind of relationship with somebody of like where your boundaries are with that person is advice that probably everybody needs. Of like, if you initially approach somebody in a romantic kind of way and they put the kibosh on that sort of situation, you really need to understand yourself as a person to know, like, are you going to be totally fine with that and just friends with this person? Or is this going to become okay, let's just be friends and I'm going to slowly let myself fall for this person because that's how I initially was viewing them.
Yeah, life is not a sitcom. It's not a will they, won't they situation. It's,
and
relationships kind of either happen almost immediately or like not at all.
Yeah, it's kind of a rare occasion when people get together after knowing each other for like 7 years.
There are exceptions to the rule, but more likely than not, there's already like an established attractiveness like in the first meeting.
Yeah, well, and I think that's something that you can kind of gauge in yourself too, because like there's people that I've met that I can objectively look at and be like, oh, like you are a human being that has an attractiveness level. And you don't hit that bar for me in any way, shape, or form. So, like, yeah. There is not a universe in which, like, we are going to have a romantic relationship because I just don't see you that way at all.
Fucking bitch. Fucking podcast over. You had to fucking tear my heart out like that on the live air. Fuck you.
I just needed you to know, finally. No, but there's like, and then there's people that you meet that you go, oh, you are attractive, and I don't know if this would ever be a thing, but either you go, nah, our relationship as friends is more important. Like there's
Yeah.
nuance, but you need to understand yourself enough to know whether you should be in like that kind of a friendship sort of a realm with someone.
Yeah. I mean, and it's way more nuanced than we're even making it, because
yes, it's very complicated.
Yeah, there are some people that you have attractiveness, but like they might just be an awful person, and you shouldn't even have them as a friend, and break up.
Yeah, but the point is, you're 20.
Yeah.
Leave this situation in the past, grow from it, evolve from it, become a better person, analyze yourself a little bit more, get to know yourself. You'll be better off.
You're guaranteed to have like 2 more really bad relationship mishaps before you probably find the one, if there even is one.
Indeed.
I hate Indeed. You know I fucking hate that.
Indeedly doodly?
Yes, it adds nothing to the conversation. It's just like I'm here too.
I didn't know what to say. I agree. Like, yeah, you're gonna get your heart broken a couple times. You're only 20.
It's fine to like to say anything there. Like, you know, yeah, lit, dope. I do all those all the time. But Indeed, for some reason, Indeed is the one that grinds my gears.
Is it because it sounds pretentious?
Yes, it's like Indeed. But a step further is whenever I bring that up, somebody either does Indeed, back, or they try to do indubitably, which is almost worse.
Which I did not do. I would like to point that out. I said indeedly
not
doodly.
This time.
Just almost the same, but very different.
Indubitably. It's like, that's Indeed with extra steps. Fuck yourself.
No, if I said indeedly doodly and indubitably, like fast next to each other, you would not be able to discern which one I'm saying, because they're both nonsense. Sorry, how about yuppers? Yuppers work for you?
I just like lit.
Okay, next time I don't know what to say. I'm just gonna wait an awkward amount of time and go, lit.
Yeah, it's like that. Have you ever seen the Saturday Night Live Chad skit?
No, probably not. I haven't seen a lot of Saturday Night Live, to be honest.
It's a Pete Davidson skit, but like I wrote that character when I was in high school, and like now it's a thing. But like it's just the way he says things, where it's just like kind of deadpan. Like it's all these people throwing themselves at him. Like Benedict Cumberbatch is like, "No, our love is forbidden," and he's like, "Lit."
Discovered my BF of 5 years was cheating on me while he was getting open heart surgery.
Break up.
Also,
wow, that was fast.
Now that I've reread this, initially I was like, how was he cheating on you while he was under the knife? And now I understand that she discovered that he was cheating while he was under the knife.
Yeah,
all right,
she probably had his phone.
While my boyfriend was getting open heart surgery, I was looking through his phone and found a second Snapchat app. That I don't know how that makes sense. Upon clicking on it, I find 2 years worth of messages between him and some girl, including sexting, voice memos, pictures, etc. I was devastated. I took the liberty of calling the girl up so I could get some more information. She tells me that they've been in a virtual relationship for 2 years, and he's been sending her thousands of dollars.
Yo!
Holy fuck. Once my boyfriend made it out of surgery and was weaned off the vent,
he had to go right back into surgery.
I decided not to say anything since he was fresh out of open heart surgery. It's been 2 days. He's in so much physical pain. He states he does not wish this pain upon his worst enemy. I decided not to say anything to him at the moment and wait until he gets a hold of his phone and sees the messages I sent to his lover. His family decided to wait a couple days before they came to see him so as to not upset his mom.
Ooh.
They believe she will deteriorate in her health upon seeing him in pain, which I think is ridiculous. His brother entrusted me to my boyfriend's care. This is very traumatic. Am I making the right call on waiting until he feels physically better? I've already decided I'm ending this relationship. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Yes, you're making the smart choice. But if it were me, I would never, ever, ever bring it up and wait for him to like see the messages and then him go to you, because it paints as like, what if he just never, he sees it, he knows you know it, but he just never brings it up because God,
I would just start asking for a lot of money. And then if he didn't start giving me thousands of dollars, that's when I would be like, the jig is up. No, you're making the right call by waiting till he gets physically better. You could be petty and be like, fuck you, Brian, and leave. And that would also, I don't think anybody should judge you for that. But I think the higher road is wait until he's at least like, at least wait until his family's there. And then be like, Bye, motherfucker.
I learned that there's like for like second Snapchats and stuff, there's like hidden apps you can do. Like
That's wild.
I was reading a relationship advice one where this person, like, they have a calculator app like on their homepage, and they open it up and they like enter in like a 4-digit number, and then it opens up like a second Snapchat. Like there's a whole hidden way to like do it.
You know what's crazy to me is the quantity of effort that people put into cheating and like hiding shit from their partners when you could just put that effort into a relationship. But you know what just occurred to me as I had that thought right now?
Yeah.
The quantity of effort that I put into cheating on tests when I could have just put that effort into studying might be kind of hypocritical of me to judge, but also, my cheating on tests didn't do anything to anybody else.
Everybody somewhere somehow lies and cheats in something.
Just don't do it in your relationships. It's not that hard. All right, I have one last question for you.
Yes, shoot.
I'm starting a fondue food truck. What names could I call this?
Don't do that. That sounds awful.
I'm trying to think of
the ever getting fondue from a fucking food truck. I love food trucks. I love fondue. That's not a thing.
I'm trying to figure out the logistics of how that would work.
Exactly.
Would you have
exactly, Rachel.
Would you just have the fondue fountains in the truck, and then you have like a cup and like skewers? Do you need it to be a fountain? Does it constantly have to be flowing? Like, I have a lot of physics questions about fondue. Can it not just be in like a soup pot and I can scoop it?
That's what I'm thinking. Is it maybe it's like an elaborate like nacho dip situation where they just hand you a container of cheese and chips? Like, I could do that at Taco Bell, thanks, but sure.
I like the dramaticism of just having 2 giant fondue fountains in a truck and you just watching somebody dip skewers in for you and then stick them in a messy cup.
Now, let's pretend for a second that this isn't the worst fucking idea ever. Because to me, it is. And Fact Checker says fondue cheese thickens up fast. It does, yeah. And,
well, and fondue chocolate cools down really fast.
Yeah.
Like, there's a whole lot of balance going on here. What if a fly flew into your fondue fountain? Would it just keep cycling?
Yeah. That's the circle of life, man. That's evaporation stuff.
I don't know if that...
Again,
okay.
Pretending that this isn't the worst idea ever.
Yeah.
I think mine's going to be Fongo.
Fongo. I would name it Fondant Come Here. I like Fongo so much.
Don't keep driving.
Fondant Come Here gives the same energy as when we used to work at Staples. I would call it Stop Less. Stop Here Less.
EU. Fact Checker just sent an article about a fondue truck called Dipstick. 2012. Okay, so this has been around.
Westward Blowback. What is this?
That's the article website. Ignore that. It's the
Sorry.
Dipstick is the name of. Yeah, Dipstick. That's just like the thing.
Yeah,
like the
that's
candy.
the whole concept.
I mean, it's still though. I think that the logistics suck.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a well thought out concept. Seems like there's a lot of problems you could run into.
I think the biggest issue here is that fusion food is such a big thing, and I think that there's too much mixing to the point where people are now like, well, what else? What haven't we done yet?
Why are there no pictures in this article?
Yeah.
That's what concerns me.
Fondipity is another one. Thanks, Fact
Even
Checker.
though it's clear that fondue is the focus of this vehicle, some people don't get the message. Hot dogs, said Taylor. People are always asking for hot dogs. Perhaps a fondog will find its way to the menu. The writer did not put that. Oh my god. A fondog. Oh, Gamage, are you ready for this? The lineup is simple. There are fondue nachos. That's just fucking nachos.
That's just nachos, man.
Oh my god.
You could get fondue machos with shredded chicken and guacamole. That's still nachos. That's just nachos.
They also offer a bread bowl filled with hummus, pita chips, and snack-sized veggies. None of this is fondue so far.
That's not fondue.
Melted cheese does not a fondue constitute. Like that
does not a fondue make.
Yeah, thank you.
Does not a fondue.
Oh my god, the current cheese fondue is Parmesan pesto. That does sound kind of awesome.
That sounds I'd fuck with that. I would.
Yeah, that sounds delightful.
Sounds real good.
Jesus fuck.
A soft-seated bread bowl filled with steaming hot cheese swirled with fragrant green pesto with sides of cheesy garlic bread, chunks, fresh cut carrots, celery, broccoli, florets, and strips of red pepper, and tiny wooden skewers for dipping. I'd fuck with that.
Oh, neat. This one's the chocolate is served in a bowl made from sponge cake with little dippy sides is what they put.
That just seems like a messier lava cake. Thanks.
It does. It seems like a shittier, messier lava cake because I don't want a sponge cake. I want a lava cake.
Yeah, and like, what's the sizing like? Like, it is if it's too small, then it's basically like a Costco sampler, and that's
depressing.
And it's gonna be expensive regardless. And if it's too big, then it's like, why don't you just do fondue at home? Like now you've got food trucks are for on the go. Now you have a fucking fondue setup.
Food trucks are for on the go, and you have a fondue setup, and that just seems like a recipe for spilling a lot of shit on yourself.
Yup.
Just hot, liquidy chocolate. I can't even find a picture of this fucking food truck.
It doesn't exist.
I found one called Smack Daddies.
Smack Daddies.
I looked up dipstick fondue truck, and Smack Daddies came up.
All right. That was our show.
Yeah, Fondant do
show.
that. Fondue, listen to this music recommendation.
I enjoyed that.
So
I enjoyed
funny.
that. I did.
You're welcome. I'm happy I could be here for that. My music recommendation for the week is a band that I saw live this past weekend called Hot Bodies in Motion. They've got kind of a cool style. I feel like they sort of waft between like a beachy rock vibe and kind of like an Arctic Monkeys vibe. And the singer's voice is absolutely stunning. Like he's got just like a real good vibe to it. So highly recommend that band.
Dope.
And many a song. I think the song Old Habits is one of their most popular ones, which is more of that Arctic Monkeys style. But I'm going to recommend Hymn 151, like HYMN 151. Yeah. Also has a dope album cover. And they sound great live. If you ever get the chance, go see them. They do fantastic guitar solos and a tambourine solo, which was hilarious. Because then he threw the tambourine into the audience. I don't know, but it was funny.
God, I hope that I would be beamed by a fucking tambourine.
Dude, I've never seen a better fucking, like, you know when guitarists like throw picks out to people? This man threw 3 tambourines throughout their entire set at random audience members.
Were they just like Dollar Tree tambourines though? Or were they
That's
like...
what I said. I was like, he has to be picking them up from Dollar Tree. Like, where you just bought, like, where, I don't know. I don't know if I would be willing to even throw a $10 tambourine. Like, I spent $10 on that tambourine.
Well, I mean, gone. Like, I feel like tambourine's one of those things where it's like an expensive tambourine versus the Dollar Tree tambourine is about the same quality. Like, it's gonna have the same sound. One's not gonna sound like significantly better.
But the difference is I spent $10 on one of them.
That's what I'm saying. Is a Dollar Tree tambourine, I think, is it appropriate? Yeah.
Well, and they very well could have been. If not, they're spending a lot of money on their tambourine tossing. At least $30 if they're not from the Dollar Tree.
Guys, we got to talk about the tambourine budget.
We're really blowing out the tambourine budget 2 years later. Guys, we're doing enough that we can expand the tambourine budget.
We need to revisit
500
the
tambourines. What if this is the hill that he dies on that keeps them from getting famous? No. I can't let go of the tambourines.
I said the day we started that it's going to be tambourines nonstop.
I drew the line the second we met up for band practice. All tambourines all the time. Fuck you.
As for me, I'm still listening to Castle Rat. They're so fucking good. I fucking love them so much. I recommended Dagger Dragger. I'm not recommending them again. I just wanted to reiterate that they're good and you should listen to them. That being said, I'm gonna go with POS. That's piece of naughty word for duty. If you catch my drift, piece of shit. It's POS by Hemlock Springs. She's got a very unique sound and has a great
I like
voice.
the album cover of that too.
Yeah, the vocals on this song specifically are like kind of shaky and weirdly flat in some areas, but it's definitely intentional and it sounds incredible. She's not big yet, but I feel like she will be. She's good enough.
Hey, you threw out Chapel Roan before she became massive. So maybe
Yeah,
you're just a harbinger of
good point.
success.
I am the harbinger of success. No, because I also brought up Glue, and he even has like fame backing him up. Like, cause he came from Queens of the Stone Age. He even did like a song collab with Fantagram, who's huge too. And I don't think Glue did anything else beyond that like first couple songs. So, you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah,
but
well,
I do wish you guys would listen to Glue more.
Maybe that's the problem is you guys aren't listening to Glue enough and you need to give Glue another chance.
Get that glue all up in you.
Yes, exactly that. Get that glue all up in you. Anyway, thank you for listening. If you liked what you heard or you want to tell us about you putting glue all up in you, please like, subscribe, download, comment on your most favoriteest podcasting place. If you want us to talk about a thing,
putting glue in private areas.
We also don't condone you listening to any of our fucking advice. That's a disclaimer right here and right now. If we tell you to do something, don't do that thing. Probably not a good idea. We're not responsible.
I don't know. I think our advice today is pretty fucking solid.
Gamage, I told people to neg their children.
That's a fair point. I did tell people to break up with their dogs and
break up with their dog's cancer. Do break up with the cancer though. That's good advice.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can email us at whtpah@gmail.com. Also, we started that wave to Blue Sky. Welcome all the harbingers or all the
use your words.
Travelers from X, Twitter,
Foreigners?
the one, I don't know. It's also spelled the same, WHTPAH on Blue Sky. You can also follow us at We Have That Podcast at Home on Instagram. Find us on all the things. What?
A fact checker said Brazil.
Okay.
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 I forgot to say, like, when we were at we saw Postmodern Jukebox in concert.
Refugees from Twitter is what I was trying to say.
The
word just came to my brain.
But we saw Postmodern Jukebox in live, and it was a great set. But like they were doing like a kind of like introducing this person and introducing that person on the instrument, and they got to the bass player, and like basses are like inherently quiet, so like it was definitely like he was going as loud as he could, but it was definitely like quieter. And there was this drunken bitch behind us, and like he was just doing this doon doon doon, and it was just quiet, and she just goes, "Okay."
All right.
Yeah, like I see what you're putting down. Like, God, this bitch.
She did like the vocal version of putting your kid's art on the fridge. Like, oh, look at that. All right.
Oh, Brazil. The Blue Sky Migrators are from Brazil. Because Twitter's banned in Brazil.
Hello. Welcome. Next week we will be tackling the lovely and fine art of pop culture, motherfucker.
Culture.
My mom used to pop her culture and lock her culture.
Papa, can you culture?
Please, sir, can I have more pop culture?
Well, this is fun. I'm off-brand Gamage.
I'm off-brand Rachel, and this has been We Have the Podcast at Home.